Okay, if there have no more public comments, I believe that there are another item number 10, 12, and 16. Okay, Ms. Hurtado, we're going to come to the council comment. I think that most of the council members spoke.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. No, I'm not talking.
Oh.
Council members spoke, everybody, so I think Ms. Hurtado wanted to talk.
On June the 18th, Councilman Moreno and I, we met with representatives of the GSA. The GSA is the organization that's going to be building our new port of entry. And we went over the plans and looked at everything, the two different phases that are going to be built. So our first phase is going to be starting up here pretty soon. We will be having a groundbreaking on the 12th of November for the new port of entry. So that's really exciting news, and we hope everybody can be there with us for that very, very important event. On the 24th of June, we had the Lava Lamps Awards, which our city manager, Mr. Richard Warren, was one of those, and Mr. Cañas was also recognized in the Lava Lamps Awards, and congratulations. On the 25th of June, I met... Oh, and John! And Mr. Moreno was also recognized, which was the most important recognition, of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry? Oh, Mr. Legaspi, and there was one more.
Luis Delgado.
Luis Delgado from our council. It was a really nice event, so congratulations to all. I'm sorry for having left you off.
It's okay.
Okay, so then on the 25th of June, I met on behalf of then Mayor Moreno with representatives of the El Centro Regional Medical Center. We have an outpatient center with El Centro Regional on Highway 98, and they're interested in expanding their services here in the city of Calexico. And so we met with those representatives together with the mayor of El Centro, Efraín Silva, to discuss the expansion of their services here in Calexico. And it was a really nice discussion. They're looking more towards assisting the needs of the actual patient than actually wanting to make money. So that was really interesting to meet with them, and they're looking forward to also working together with those of the Heffernan board. That same night, that same day, I believe it was, we had a leadership training here in the city of Calexico for the council, which thank you, Mr. Garcia, for having come here and worked with us. We hope that that will help some of our members to be better leaders. Yesterday, Monday, the 6th of July, former Mayor Moreno and I also met with representatives of the Republic Services. They are the trash people who help us to pick up the trash bins throughout town. We specifically went through downtown, and we specifically went through downtown's alleys due to the recent concerns, because they are very concerned as well, and they want to make sure that in any way that they can help, that they are going to either expand or modify the services that they give to us already, so that we have a better image of cleanliness within the downtown area. They'll be coming back again. We're basically right now doing fact-finding and organizing ourselves to understand the different aspects of the cleaning of downtown and the different needs that we have that do. It has to do with several different parts, different groups. The city has a part of it. The business owners, as Ms. Padilla pointed out, have a responsibility in cleaning, and so does the Republic Services. So we're trying to put all those different players together and basically provide better service. So it was a busy, busy couple of weeks for us, and looking forward to many more busy weeks. Thank you.
Okay, is there any council members wish to speak?
Oh, I have nothing.
Public comment, right?
Public comment, yeah.
Council comment.
Council comment.
I'll wait.
Okay, 3 minutes, please.
No,
Oh,
I'll wait.
I'm not going to say anything
You're good?
you?
because of it's almost 9:15.
Yeah.
I'm good too.
Okay, so we go to consent agenda.
Motion to approve 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Huh?
Motion to approve 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Any council member wish to talk?
I actually need to recuse myself on 12 for conflict of interest on a similar business. So I motion to approve 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Which
then I
which
can
one
step out.
you want to pull out?
Well, actually, there's a motion. If there's not a second,
No, no,
then
but
I-
no, this one has to be pulled out first before they make the approval. The consent agenda, any which the council member?
I would like to approve 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Do I have a second?
Second. Although I did make the motion, but I will go with your motion.
Okay.
No,
Should we vote?
No, wait. Every council member, if they have the agenda, it has to be pulled out. Not only you, council member, and council members to pull out the agenda.
No, I didn't pull out 12. I'm just recusing myself on 12, so.
But
Mr.
still
Moreno's-
have to pull out then.
Okay, I'll leave then.
So you leave the
The thing is,
Mr.
I'm recusing myself on
Mandy,
number 12. So he says I should,
move out.
I gotta leave when they vote it all in.
Is it staying on as part of the motion,
Yeah.
No, but the thing other council members to like
or is it being pulled off?
pull out. So you're gonna pull out the number 12. So that way, number
I
12
pull
pull
number 12
out,
even though I'm
then you
not
can
gonna vote on
excuse
it?
yourself.
I think what happened was Councilmember Real feels like he has a conflict of interest, so
Sure.
that would comes off. Then Councilmember Moreno made a motion, and there was a second to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And I think, unless attorney feels differently, that you can go ahead and vote on that. Councilmember Real then steps down, goes outside while you
Correct.
talk about 12.
No, okay,
So-
but the thing is, I like to pull out some of the item too, because,
Okay, well, there's been a motion, my understanding is there's a motion that has been
but consent
seconded.
agenda has to be
to-
pulled out the first, the city council member has to choose to which one I would pull out first, and then make the motion to rest of them.
Mayor, John Moreno, would you rescind your motion?
Why?
So I can make my motion to approve 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10?
And I will
11?
second it for no discussion.
Well, again.
So we should vote
The council
on
member
6,
has to
7,
have
8,
a
9,
right
and
to
10.
pull out that and it's consent agenda.
That is true, you have a
Yeah.
right to pull items off the agenda.
Okay, what do you want to pull?
I'd like to pull out the pull agenda number 8,
Okay,
and 10.
okay. I make a motion to approve 6, 7, 9, and 11.
Second.
Please vote.
So we're approving 6,
Oh, our names are wrong here.
6,
We should just vote by
7, the 9,
6, 7, 9,
Nine.
and 11.
City Attorney, just to
And
remind us,
11.
what is the conflict that, because I remember that you had a conflict like a month ago on this one, and can you remind us again?
Me? But
Him.
Well, I'm starting a similar business in
You
security.
haven't started it today, though, have you?
No, I started before.
You already initiated
Yes,
that business? So
yes.
it is already in function, it's functioning and you're already providing?
Yes, I'm getting it going, correct. I do have a
So you have
fictitious
a,
business
you
name.
have a business,
I have a fictitious business name, and don't know if I'm gonna have my business here or in El Centro, so I
because
haven't
this is only for
had a-
monitoring. This is only for monitoring maintenance. Do you provide maintenance as well?
Yes, I do. I will, yes, correct.
well, actually, even the any council
I
members.
guess I just
they
want to make
have-
sure that when, like, if there would be, in our case, that we're aware of why there is
No,
this
yeah,
type of a exclusion out of this, when maybe it might not be necessary?
Mr. Mark, is there any council member has right to recuse themselves?
There's a motion and a second on 6, 7, 9, and 11. We should vote.
I agree with Councilmember Real, we should wait and discuss the issue
Yes.
of his conflict at the time that item comes up. Right now, and we can discuss that separately. Right now, there is a motion to approve those items that have been
6, 7, 9,
stated in the motion.
and 11.
So, okay, time to vote then? Is it
The names are wrong, so we should just do it verbally.
verbally?
The names are wrong,
Okay.
okay? We're sitting in different seats.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so all in favor?
Thank you for telling me.
All in favor?
What is the motion again?
Motion is to approve item 6, 7, 9, and 11, with Kim pulling item 8, 10,
And
and 11.
has someone pulled item 12? That item needs to be
12.
pulled as well.
Yeah, Mr. Mandy,
Okay,
Mr. Leal
Kim, you
pulls
want
the
to pull it? You can pull item 12 as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I
As long as you get it.
I
Okay,
vote aye.
time to vote.
Aye.
I'm still confused.
Is the approved aye?
So we're doing 1,
Aye. Aye.
6, 7,
Is everyone falling asleep?
9, and 10?
What's going on?
6, 7, 9, and 10?
No.
Okay,
So 10.
motion carries.
So we approving
So we pulled 3.
Yeah.
Mr. Kim, you pulled 3.
8, 10, and 12.
10?
Please ask the
12.
mayor that question, please.
Your vote.
It's been called to a vote.
I
Okay.
called the vote already.
Oh, aye. I'm just confused what the heck you guys are doing, man.
Okay,
Yeah?
Mr. Kim,
Yes, I.
so
The,
Number 8.
Yeah, anonymous is passed. And number 8. Number 8, I believe that we have some several questioning during the briefing with Mr. Mandy there. And I have some questions about the page 1. Around middle, have 2 different paycheck. I don't know what's going on. I found it later. Michael Bostic, we paying $10,000, 750, and we have another one. It's marked down here. Yeah, the end of it, page 3. The Michael Bostic, about 8,750 again. So these only 2 checks or 2 payments. Can you clarify on this?
that's,
In accordance with his contract, he's paid a housing allowance, and that's what this is.
Beg your pardon, please?
He's paid a housing allowance of $69, and I can't remember, I think it's 71 cents a day, I'd have to double check, but what you see here on the accounts payable is that those, are those payments that's in his consulting contract.
So we're paying the housing expenses,
$69 a day, $69, and I can't remember the exact cents.
$69 a day, but I'm talking about the 8,750, and the other one is 10,750.
that's his contract.
That's his contract.
Correct.
So totally about $18,000 or $19,000. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Make a motion to approve 8.
Second.
Aye.
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 No. Okay, pass 4-1. Mr. Castro was saying yes.
Say yay.
Okay, number 10, authorization to install field light at the Raisin field.
I would like to make a motion.
I believe that we have some people was talking, Mr. Morris, Raisin.
Morris Raisin, Calexico. My question is, why are you pulling it if it's been approved last year? It's part of the 2014-15 budget that you approved last year. $300,000 allocated to the field for the lighting, and all of a sudden you're questioning it. So my question is why?
No, you put the number 10.
I did what?
You put the number 10 here to
No, I'm putting it here
discuss.
because
He's in
I
favor.
put it because,
He's in favor.
well, that's what it is.
Okay,
case you
in favor
pulled
of the recommendations.
Well, anyway, let me go back here. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Warren for putting it on the agenda because the last 2 administrations, the last 2 managers didn't do it. They didn't do a damn thing for us. He's doing it for us. He's pro parks, pro recreation, and pro Calexico. And I thank him for putting it on the agenda because he promised me he was. So he's a man of his word. Now, my question is why are you pulling it if it's been approved already?
Well, actually, I don't remember that we have approved or not. So that's why I want to know to today the major H commissions to approve that or not.
Well,
This one,
it's been allocated already, so, if the Measure H did it or did not, the city did it, it's been allocated. Now, here's the deal, it's on Sapphire and Andrade. It's a big 3-acre park.
well, what
We have
understanding?
600 kids play there. They can't play at night because there's no lighting. This has been allocated, and we just want to go forward with it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Millis.
I'll be here for any questions.
I will recuse myself. I live like
Somebody
2 blocks away.
questioning? Okay.
You're going to recuse yourself on the number 10?
No, different. This one, number 10.
It's important, just that I state, before somebody recuses themselves, the Public Records Act requires that you identify for the record what the basis is for the recusal, and explain it in as much detail as
I
possible.
live 2 blocks away. I'm in
We all
Wood.
live 2 blocks away. It's the middle of town.
You know what, Mr. Real, I live closer.
Oh, that's true. I'll see you outside.
It's not a conflict.
I don't believe that constitutes a conflict
Okay,
under
fine.
these circumstances.
Motion to approve.
Second. You have a first and a second, Mr. Kim?
Okay, so first, any discussions? If they have a discussion, say aye.
I second for discussion. I just
Okay.
want to make a statement. I am all for putting lights on Raisin Field. I know that you guys have been working on that field a lot.
4 years, it's 4 years in the making.
But I do not agree with the way this was done. It should have gone through Measure H first. There's no reason why because these are Measure H funds, correct?
Well, the thing was, this was approved last year as part of the 14-15 budget.
Correct, but-
So 14-15 budget.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you, at that time, the Measure H committee couldn't even get a quorum before the city council approved the budget. So they are an advisory committee. The city council's already approved it. What we're just doing tonight is bringing it forward so the council knows as we go forward that we're going to install the lights on Raisin Field. We're going to work in partnership
With ID.
with IID and also with the recreation leagues, to make it happen.
Yeah, time is of the essence right now. The IED is waiting for me, waiting for us to go talk to them. Maybe we can get some more
Okay,
money allocated, so that's what we're working on. I
I
don't
have
want
a
to lose this
question.
opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
I just, let me finish my statement. I just believe that this should have gone through the proper channels, which is Measure H Committee and Planning before it comes to us. Attorney, can we approve it?
Mr. Raisin, would you go to sit to your place, please?
Pardon?
Would you go to, if you finish your comment,
Okay, well,
Go
I just
sit
wanna,
in there.
it's fine. I don't
Because-
have to speak. I'm just,
Can we make
if
an,
you have any questions, they might have questions.
can we make an approval, make a motion to approve with it
There's already a
passing
motion on the
planning?
I'm sorry, with
And-
that.
The planning commission wouldn't deal with this. This is a purely budgetary, administrative, city council decision.
So planning has
Commission-
nothing to do with
Planning
lights?
commission has no
Planning commission.
jurisdiction on this.
Okay. All right, so
I have a question
I've-
for the lawyer, city attorney.
Yes.
Mr. Real was mentioning about the pro channel. When the tax bond supposed to go to citizens advisory committee first, then they'll come to the council. If we approve it, this one council, without the citizens committee, we're gonna be jeopardizing our legal issues.
I haven't read
the
the bond
bonds.
documents or seen the bond documents relating to Measure H, but, from what little I understand, that they're merely an advisory committee, and it's not something that has to go through that procedural step before it gets to the council, but, I'll end that by saying I have not read the bond documents, but I don't understand the city to have granted them, authority or made a requirement that it go before that commission before it go before the city council.
I will vote yes, but I didn't like the way it was done for the record. Aye. There's a
There is
motion
a
on the floor.
motion by Mr.
And a
Moreno,
second.
seconded by myself.
Aye.
Move on. Aye.
Aye.
Mayor, again, the city attorney, he mentioned that he doesn't know about this
issue, right? That's what you mentioned, City Attorney?
I'm sorry, the Measure
mean-
H?
On Measure H
Right.
issues, how the process is. That's what you mentioned. You don't know, or you're going to look for that in order to make sure is
I don't
that
think we need to.
process, what we are doing right now is legally. Is that, if it's that legally, I support this issue. That's
Okay.
my question.
The city, I have not seen the bond documents relating to Measure H. I would be shocked if the city council had, given their authority or made it a requirement that it go to a citizen commission before it be heard by the city council. But my understanding is they're just an advisory committee and that it doesn't need to go before them.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, Mr. Raisin said that this has been long in the works.
Right.
Mr. Raisin has been pushing for lights at Raisin Field for a long time. They need lights out there. It's a softball field. Let's look at the big picture here. This is a general obligation bond, which was budgeted last year
Right.
to go to this particular item. Postponing it wouldn't do any good. I think we need to take action now. We need to build those lights. We need to put them up. So it's summertime. Our kids need to play at night, not in the daytime. So I commend all of you for the due diligence, but this has already been discussed. And what we need to do is take action.
Motion has
Not
been
words, action.
But I'm kind of like a legal issues there.
He's telling you, this is a
It's-
general
it's-
obligation bond. The money was budgeted. We approved the budget. Let's vote on it.
We already voted.
We have, no, we have
You
voted.
voted on it
Oh,
last
then let's
year.
stop discussion and move on.
Okay,
How's that sound?
Okay.
I will. Okay, we're gonna have
Are
a
you going
vote?
to take a vote?
We gotta take a vote.
Yeah, okay,
We have a
We only
first
three
by
votes. Me and-
Councilman Moreno and a
who
second by
didn't vote?
myself.
Me and Mr. Castro? Okay, I'll vote yes, but I wish we don't have a problem with the
Oh,
bond.
it's okay.
My motion is yes.
Unanimous. Okay.
Okay, now we are number 12.
You got it.
Motion passed, 5-0.
You light up my life, Morris.
All right.
Congratulations, Morris.
You got stated.
Okay.
Why don't I get Jim and Kathy together, and let's go to Warren's office, and let's talk, and let's fix this thing up. You guys won't be fighting all this time.
On item,
Are you willing? I'll take you guys.
we had briefing,
Okay, I thought we're done. Would you go to sitting down?
we had a briefing
Don't
today,
disturb the
and
meeting,
Kim
we
went,
need
by
to
the way.
call. this
Say it in the
okay?
microphone,
Please.
Morris. We can't hear you.
Okay, please, I mean,
The previous, if we can, let's get together, Castro, let's get together. Let's fix it. You guys won't be bickering and fighting anymore. Come on.
thank you, Mr. Morris.
I will recuse myself on item number 12 due to a conflict of interest on a similar business that I have ventured into.
In the case of a business entity, the business entity is supposed to be identified. Generally speaking, you have a conflict if there is.
It's a consulting business
If you're
on
an
security.
employee, owner, or you have invested
the owner.
$2,000, and it is engaged in a similar business in the industry. But I know
It
very
is.
little facts of this case. Based on the facts as I understood them the last time, it had not been operating, there had not been an investment, and so I do not believe there would be a conflict. But if facts have changed,
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
Please.
This is the third time that this item has come to this council for approval. Unless there are specific questions, I motion for its approval.
I second.
Wait, Mr. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Rialto is recusing himself. So, Ms. Padilla, please. Can you, timing?
Mandy needs to quit recusing himself, I swear. Castro can drive a bus and fix it out in the street, and he never recuses himself. This one lives 2 blocks away, and he wants to recuse himself. Now he owns some kind of business. It is ridiculous, people. You need to pass this today. This is the third time. I don't work for the city, and I can tell you all about it because I keep hearing about it. If you bought the cameras, you need the service, because I bet you, Mr. Kim and Mr. Castro, you're not going to be out there servicing them. You have no idea how to service them. You need a professional person, a professional company to service them. Quit your saying no and talking about everything else. You need to get this passed. You can't make the investment of our taxpayer money to buy this system of the cameras that have already been bought or will be bought and not buy the service. I bet you if you buy a refrigerator, you buy the extended warranty. So what is the difference? It's not that hard. If Mr. Castro would get off his phone and listen, maybe he would get the gist of it. Ignoring me, Mr. Castro, you can still hear me. So pass the darn thing. It's ridiculous.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla.
Mr. Mayor, if I may just make one more comment on this before you vote. This
Okay.
is our last opportunity again.
3 minutes.
Yeah, this is our last opportunity. If we don't agree to this service agreement tonight, they're going to start building the system next week, and we can no longer buy the warranties and the service guarantee. What that will require of the city, you asked me to be fiscally responsible, so that's what I'm trying to do. We will now have to do it by general time and materials every time something breaks, and I can guarantee it's going to cost 2 or 3 times what this service costs the city if we don't approve the service plan, and we're going to do it with asset forfeiture money. So I'm trying to provide a service to the city to benefit crime and to deal with some of the issues I have in the city. So I just ask the council to consider that I'm trying to save the city a lot of money and use asset forfeiture money for the benefit of the city and not just the police department. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
I'd just like to make a comment. The last couple of times that we've tried to do this, Mr. Castro and Mr. Kim, you've denied the voting in favor for this item. Mr. Real keeps finding opportunities to remove himself from the vote. However, Mr. Kim, if you want to be in the position that you're in now, and you want to be able to see that this city comes together, you need to support your chief. And at this point, I haven't seen that support yet. That's why I didn't vote in favor of this new position that you have, because it's first very important for me for people to show respect before you receive that. And at this point, I think it's really important that you first realize that the item that's in question here is about the safety of your city. And so if you deny a contract on cameras that will protect your city, then you're not for your city. So I'm going to ask that you pay very much attention to what you're doing this time, because it's just ridiculous to have to keep bringing this back when there really is no reason why you keep denying and keep rejecting this item. It's actually very ridiculous. So I hope that now you can put that past behind yourself and realize what you're doing, that you can't pick and choose. Either you're for your city or you're not. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hurtado. Mr. Castro?
Yes, I have a question to Mr. Bostic. I believe you already told us where you trying to allocate these cameras. Briefly, can you tell us what exactly these cameras are going to be around the city of Calexico? Can
Yeah.
you tell us again, please?
I'd be glad to, because I'm actually pretty excited about it. We're going to try to hit all city facilities to protect our city facilities throughout the city. All
Sounds
city
great,
parks.
sounds great.
All the city parks, so we can protect the parks from the vandalism at night, the people ruining all the fields and burning down our scoreboards and everything else that we just donated to the city to make that happen. But more importantly, along the business corridors, we're going to start on First Street, some down Imperial. We're also going to hit most of the large intersections in and out of the city. So what this will give us the capability of doing is when we have a crime or a hit-and-run traffic accident, or one of our senior centers is burglarized, we'll actually see the suspects doing it, and we'll be able to identify them. And you remember we had the downtown burglar who was breaking in for a long time. The Border Patrol cameras caught that. Our system will allow us to pick up the Border Patrol cameras as well as the downtown malls, and anyone who has a camera in their facility, like the university or the schools, we'll be able to bring those into a command center both in City Hall and at our department. And I have a large group of volunteers that are former law enforcement that are already asking to help with the project, to come in and watch the cameras and help our police officers in the field deal with crime. And one of the ones I'm really concerned about is all the hit and run accidents. We have a lot of them in this city where people hit and run. and people are being killed by hit-and-run drivers. They won't get away with that anymore because we have automated license plate reading systems. We'll have cameras that'll have pictures of who's driving the car, so they won't be able to claim they weren't driving. It's a fantastic tool, and we're very lucky in this city that we have the asset forfeiture money to pay for that. And we have a nice-sized city that is easy to manage. We're not huge, so it's an easier system to manage.
Sounds great. The other question is the facility that we have on the police department, and already went there probably about 6 months. But my question is that grant is gonna cover to increase or to, because for me, the facility is too small. How can you are gonna deal with that to put more equipment, more cameras? How you gonna deal that? That's my question.
So what, the
Are
way
you
the
gonna rebuild, or either rebuild the facility for that, or what is the
Yeah,
process on that?
so the plan is, I can only budget asset forfeiture money by law, by federal law, for the amount of money I actually have in the bank and the city treasury. I can't plan for future money that I don't get. That's illegal. But I know, logically, that I'm going to get more money over time because we're involved in so many narcotics task forces. So I would like to use the asset forfeiture fund for the benefit of all the city of Calexico, and to continue to build out this system and make it even more robust as we move into new facilities or whatever we do. We can always move the equipment.
So what you telling us, the equipment that you're gonna install is gonna fit on that facility?
Yes,
Yes?
yes, and we'll be able to use the existing cameras we already have. The water department and the public works department already have really good cameras. They just don't have a system to make it all work citywide. So there's a lot of cameras that we can already use in the city, and we're going to do that. And then we're going to add these new cameras as we go. And then as our asset forfeiture money grows, we'll keep buying more cameras and put them around the city. And that's a lot of eyes and ears to keep track of what's happening to our city.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I still believe that we buying too much camera, the small city. I'm very concerned about privacy for the citizens. They're going to be break down to the privacy for the citizens. That's my major worries about the number of the cameras is too many for the cities. And after they install, they can move around. So it's kind of, for me, is everybody under the civilian cameras.
Mr. Mayor, this is for public places, public buildings, parks, intersections, areas of that sort, so that we can be more vigilant if there's a crime committed. I would behoove you to support this, because if we don't support it, we're going to lose it. We're going to lose this if we don't support it, or it's going to cost us 2 or 3 times as much if something breaks down in the future. A warranty is a good thing to have. You buy a new car, you buy a warranty.
And also, I don't like our staff to both the camera without any service contract. That's not the wise way to deal with it.
Mr. Kim, or Mayor Kim, they were both on the same
Yes, I
agenda.
understand how to approve it, but they're supposed to have a backup system, software system or service contract, then they can buy. They have to wait. Please, you're not on the.
So, Mr. Mayor, what actually happened is we had both of these agenda items together on the agenda about 3 meetings ago, and it got tabled. The second one, because Mr. Real left the meeting, so we decided to table a bunch of things, and then we went to the next meeting, and I think we had a 2-2 vote or whatever it was. So we actually did bring them both to the council together, because I'm smart enough to know that a warranty is a key part of the package. And because of all that confusion, it got lost. And so I just beg of you that this is really our last chance tonight. They're going to buy the equipment for this system next week. And if we don't buy the warranty with the equipment, the bill's going to be 3 times this much keeping the system that we currently bought.
And we're setting the
Taken
system
care of.
up for failure.
Yeah, we're setting it up for failure, and
And
we have
that's what
no
you're gonna
IT
be
staff
doing.
in the city that's capable of doing this.
You're setting it up for failure. Do you want to fail, or do you want to succeed?
Well,
believe
again,
me, I
they
don't
should
wanna-
not buy it without approval of the service contract. That's what I'm trying
Well,
to
we
say.
approved it. Now that we have proved it, shouldn't we now get the warranty? Well, we've got it already. They're going to be putting it up.
Well, that's how I'm saying, that without the contract,
I
they
mean, we
cannot
sh-
buy the.
Well, it's too late now.
Merchandise.
It's too
Okay.
late now. I move that we approve this item.
Second.
Aye.
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 No,
3-1, I believe.
3-1, yeah, I think it's passed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay? Next one. Number 15.
I forgot.
Authorization to execute the non-exclusive lease license with the Catholic Charities located at 707 Dual Avenue, Senior Hall.
Motion
Recreation
to
Center.
approve. We do this every year, Mr. Kim. Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a discussion.
Second for discussion.
Lawyers, do you want to talk something?
No request for public comment on that?
There's no public comment, I believe? No.
No, no,
Only
no.
have a 16, yeah. Okay? So I'd like to discuss a little bit with that. Number 15. Okay, first of all, the programs to giving the lunch for the senior citizens. And I'd like to see our staff to, in case of they lower the lease, they can spend their money more for the food, better food for the senior citizens.
You're asking about the food for the senior program?
Yes.
As opposed to the agenda item, which is the Catholic Charities lease?
Yes, number 15, I'd like to see if we can lower the lease instead of increase it.
What's he asking? I can't understand. Come on
I'm
up
sorry.
here.
What was the question?
Lower the rent, lower the lease amount
Well,
instead of increasing. Right now it's increasing 10, 15
no, there's
to...
no
The item you
increase.
have before you is the lease for them to use the building. It has nothing to do with how much they charge, but I wanted to let you know that the meals are $2. It's a complete meal for seniors. It's very affordable, and if a senior absolutely can't pay it, they are not required to. So there are provisions, so when a senior doesn't have any money, they can still eat. It's a very nominal fee, and it's a full lunch. It's nutritionally balanced, and many of the seniors are very grateful to have that available. But that's not part of the lease.
Yeah, I know, but if they spend money with the lease, they have more the pressure to deal with the meal. So if we lower the rent,
They would charge anyway because that's part of their program is they charge a nominal fee. But you would have to ask Catholic Charities for further details because I don't know.
okay,
I
thank
make a
you.
motion to approve 15.
Oh, they already motion to approve it?
You already have first and second.
Sorry, I didn't read, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so any discussion? Then it's time to vote? Okay, go ahead.
I think that we don't know exactly how our budget is until next meeting. We should have our budget.
I hope to have the proposed budget, but you're talking about the food?
No, well, we're talking about the rent.
Rent.
On,
Oh,
you know, if
It's part of, it'll be, I mean, it obviously gets paid to the city, but.
It is a revenue. It is a
Yes,
revenue
It
for
is
the
a
city.
revenue.
So, you know, I believe that we need all the revenue that we can get, in a way.
Okay.
So
We're not raising it.
I motion and second, so I vote aye.
Okay, in vote. Mr. Castro?
Aye.
Aye, the amendment is passed. 5-0. And number 16, appointment by the mayor and the council members to various commissions.
I don't
Councilmember-
have anybody for my commissions. I would like to
We can postpone next meeting.
postpone it.
She has somebody.
Ms. Hurtado? Have
I'd like
somebody?
to appoint Ms. Esperanza Servin for my historical commission. Finally. Thank you.
Okay. Has anybody, so we can postpone the next meeting?
Item 17, a motion for its approval. But we need a change. There was a memo that came to us, right?
Right, the low bidder backed out, so we're recommending the next one down the list to do it. We have a letter in front of you, so the next one down the list is
I have a question.
Elms Equipment?
Oh, I'm sorry, I have a number 16, number 16, Romo, Mr.,
He's gone.
Mr. Romo's gone.
okay.
I have a number 17. I would like to. Did this go to planning? Wouldn't a demolition have to go to planning?
No.
No,
No.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, demolition project does not have to go to the planning
Number
commission.
17, Armory Demolition, bid of the old National Guard Armory located at the corner of Sheridan Street and Harold Avenue. I have a public to wish to discuss, speak, Mr. Yanis?
Changing zoning.
Ana Yañez from La Record. This is the second time that we go to this, the bid process. Last time, I got a disagreement with the way that the bid was done. And I work for a company, hired me as a consultant, and we won the bid last time. All the other bids were not, they didn't fulfill all the requirements. And I keep quiet because it will be repeated. And I was told that the first bidder will get it. It's 112,000. And I believe the contractor has to get it, Mr. Willows Constructors. I bid this project and I did all the effort that I could. I'm local, I'm from Calexico. I never bid before on city projects. This is the first time that I do it. But I noticed I'm very close to the amount from that contractor they are proposing, Mr. Servin. My bid was 169,000, and the other contractor is 164,500, I believe. It's almost, I think I'm close for $5,000. I lower my bid right now, $10,000. I know it is not possible, it's not legal, but I'm local. I'm from here, from Calexico. I live here. I pay my taxes here. I buy everything here. I buy food. I buy clothes. I buy everything here. My taxes are coming from close to Calexico. Why you recommend the other contractor, Mr. Servin, when you know that I'm local? Why? Why you do that to me? Why, Mr. Warren? It's only $5,000. If you're gonna give it to Elms Equipment, that is okay. Do it. You have the right to do it. But if you don't give it to the lowest bidder, then why should you give it to the second bidder when it's only $4,000 away from me? I know you keep saying no, but thank you. Think about it.
My understanding was we're giving it to the lowest bid,
We're giving it to the lowest responsive bidder as required.
which is, what's the name of the company?
Elms Equipment Incorporated.
No, it's not Elms.
Elms Equipment
Elm.
is next lowest bidder at 164.
What happened to the first company?
They wrote us a letter and they.
We
went
just
ahead
got
and
it today. We just got the letter today.
Right here, Mandy.
They withdrew their bid.
They withdrew their bid.
Dated July 7th.
Well, we just talked about it today
Yeah,
in closed session.
Yeah, but I didn't even see the letter till after we met. Does everybody have a copy?
Can I have one?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
I mean,
City Attorney, do you mind, because,
I didn't know about this.
City Attorney, do you mind kind of going over in summary, being that the winning bid that we thought when we came here was going to be the winning bid has retracted its bid, then what is the formal legal process after that is to accept the next lowest bid then? Is that what it
Yes,
is?
there is a requirement. It's not a matter of recommendation or not, it's not a matter of recommending or not recommending. The city is required in the public bid context to take the lowest bid of the bidder that is responsive and responsible, and that's what the city is bound to do in this case.
Okay,
that has to
so
be.
that's what we're doing then at this point? We're accepting Elms because Elms is the next lowest?
Yes.
My understand.
I just want to repeat the same words that you say, Mr. Attorney. It's a requirement to accept the lowest bidder. Then what happened when I bid before?
Well, sir, you were not the lowest bidder before.
Well,
I was the only that accomplished all the requirements because I include the street.
Well, what happened before was that the city made a motion to reject all bids because of a mix-up in the bidding process, and they were entitled at all times to reject all bids.
Is Elms Equipment is where's their business located?
El Centro.
El Centro, and Mr. Yanez's business, where's yours located? In Calexico?
Well, you just said you objected to getting a business license.
But let me clarify something here. Mr. Yanez is an engineer, he's not a contractor. See, he works as a consultant for the contractor.
Right.
I make a motion to approve Elms Equipment. I think discussion is over. I call for the question.
I second that motion.
Well, the call for questions.
I call for the questions.
Has to be approved by the council.
Right, I call for the question. And there was a second. Please take a vote on that.
We have the call for question for this item. So can you vote it? I say
Aye.
no.
Aye.
No.
No.
Okay, then we have the discussions. Yeah, I said no.
So
For
we
the-
bid it, this is the second time we bid it. Are we going to bid again?
Well, what I'm trying to say, I have some kind of a concern from the lawyers or city lawyers saying that we have to go lowest bid, the bidders. Recommend to be lowest bidder, but not necessary to be, not has to be.
No, it has to be the lowest bidder. If you're going to move forward with this contract, it has to be the lowest bidder under the public contract code.
You have
The
to
lowest
accept the lowest
responsible bidder.
responsible bidder. You have no choice.
You basically
Well,
have
I
two
mean, you have a
choices,
you
reject
reject
all bids or accept the lowest bidder.
Or accept the lowest bidder? Correct.
Okay.
I don't recommend rejecting all bids because everybody saw how much everybody else bid.
Well, see, that's what makes doing it a third time so counterproductive. We've done it twice. Everybody saw the first time, so then we did it a second time. So now everybody sees this bid, so now we're going to do it a third time? I mean, we're going to try to see, I encourage the city council to take the lowest responsible bidder. It was all done correctly. The city attorney reviewed the bid documents, the process. We wanted to make sure that we did everything appropriately. We have done it. We have a lowest responsible bidder. Let's move forward on this project.
And I
Okay,
agree with that, Mr. Mayor, if I will. Mr. Kim in his speech today talked about action and not words. Well, I think he needs to live up to that and take some action on this item. It's getting late.
This was before this. Willock Contracting made a bid of 112, which is what I thought we were going for. Now, talking about Elm Equipment and Cora Construction with the difference of less than $3,000, and then giving it to a Calexico company, I mean, the same way we gave Robinson Ford the vehicles, we should keep this in Calexico.
They were the only bidder.
You're confusing
Well,
things though, Mr.
Don't muddle the
Real.
waters, Mr. Real.
Totally different issues.
No, we're
Completely
keeping it
different
local.
issues.
We're keeping it in
Here you have at
Calexico.
least 8 different people bidding, and at that time it was only
El
one.
Centro is local.
Well, Calexico is more local.
Well,
But is Elm Equipment addressed in Calexico?
Well,
Not in
please
Calexico.
let council discuss.
Okay,
Who's that-
what
who's that
about
also?
his company?
His company, I don't think, is CAD, is their address in Calexico? Okay. You see, the CAD's construction is from Thousand Oaks, like he says.
So he is a consultant for CAD. Mr. Yanez has, like it was brought up earlier, he has a license as an engineer. He works as an engineer, but he consults with CAD from another, I mean, he's not even from the county of Imperial. He's
LA County.
from outside the county. So if you want to talk about local, El Centro is the closest you're going to get.
Come on.
As a civil engineer, I can work as a construction manager.
Yeah, but you're not the owner of the company. That's
The
what
owner,
we're
the
talking
company's located in Thousand Oaks.
Okay, so make a motion to approve?
I'm motioning for Elms to be awarded the bid.
All right, I'll second.
Well, the second by I think it's Mr. Hurtado seconded, no?
Yeah, she seconded. Now
seconded.
we're voting
So I
again.
should rescind my,
Rescind your second because I motioned to approve this about 30 minutes ago.
Well, discussion is, I strongly we should not spend money that's not ours yet. That's still the process to receiving that the National Armory is not belongs to city yet.
okay, I will approve it, but we have to figure out a way to keep business in Calexico. And I hope that one day we can change the ordinance to, if it becomes within 5% or 10%, we should leave it in Calexico.
I agree with that too, but right now that's not a policy. but
I
that's something we can
understand.
bring up.
Hopefully we can change this so that we keep the whatever the money Calexico spends locally.
Mr. Mayor, there's a motion on the floor and it's
Okay,
second. I think we
now,
need.
is there anybody still wants to talk?
Why is
Okay, then we're gonna go vote. Please, Ms. Padilla.
Aye.
John, your compa system, I guess, too. Aye.
No.
Let's get out of here.
No. The pass is 3-2.
Are you gonna
Mr.
adjourn? Motion to adjourn?
Well, I think as we have Mr. Real wants to have a special meeting.
Not right now.
And now? Okay. Thank you. To adjourn the meeting. 9:54. Finish the meeting.